Christina Eve, and welcome back to my channel, Shine Strong, Live Long, where I inspire personal and spiritual development to encourage you and myself to become who we were designed to be with intentionality. This is a segment called Shine Sessions on my channel, where I spotlight and have conversations with people who have said yes to God, people who are using their gifts and talents for God's light to shine strong through them. And as a result, the impact that they will leave will live long in the lives of others. Welcome to Shine Sessions, episode 11. And today I am with the fabulously great and fly Christian hip hop artist and CEO of Touch Life Enterprises, Walt-Leon. He has many other talents, and he serves the community in a few other capacities, but I'm going to let him tell you all himself. Walt-Leon, welcome to Shine Sessions. Tell the listeners a little bit about yourself.
Thank you for having me. Again, I'm Walt-Leon. I'm from Hampton, Virginia. I'm a husband. I'm a father. I'm a published author, Christian hip hop artist. I'm a poet. You know, to say the least, or to make a long story short, I get to do everything that I got in trouble for in school. My mouth. So being able to creatively use what I would say is my strong point, and I didn't know how to use it at the correct time. Now I'm glad to be able to use it for God and to help others along with their journey and help others heal and have peace of mind, sort of, in a sense.
Love that. And I also want to just add that he didn't say he was a comedian, you guys, but you'll find that out later. I was following him on Instagram, and I was like, yo, this dude is legit funny. Like, I need to remix some of his reels, you know what I'm saying? Especially the one about the deodorant. I just wanted to, I was like, amen. Some of them do need different deodorant, but we'll talk about that later.
Gotta speak the truth.
Gotta speak it, you know? So, yes. Okay, so you do a whole lot with Touch Life Enterprises, right? And what is the tagline for that? Tell me more about that.
So the tagline is see a life, touch a life, change a life. And the thing is, even if all you do is smile at somebody, you don't know how that smile can change their day and turn their day around. You don't know what people are going through. So everybody you come in contact with, the goal is make sure they leave you in a better space than when they came in contact with you. So it doesn't take a lot to make somebody smile. Even if, find a friend and cash app them $5 and say, hey, get a snack or a coffee on me. I don't know what you're going through. I don't need to know what you're going through for me to pray for you and for me to make sure that you're in a better space when we leave from each other or when our conversation stops. So just never know.
Yeah, no, that's powerful in itself. And you make it so simple, it's just so casual, you guys. Just be nice to one another. You could change a life by just giving them $5. Hey, my cash app is going to be below. So I like that. But okay, so you do a lot of stuff in the community. I know that you, yes. I don't know if you actually can ball or not, but I hear that you also coach basketball. I hope you're good, but tell me about that.
So I've been playing basketball since I was 8 years old. Mm-hmm. And originally I played, rec league, played AAU, went to high school. I played football at my high school, but at basketball, I got cut all 4 years. When I graduated high school, I was 5'2", 165 pounds.
Oh.
I was small. Went to college to play football, got there and did 2 years of football at Virginia Union University up in Richmond.
Yeah.
After those 2 years, they had an issue with the scholarship, and the coach told everybody that was on the scholarship, they was cutting the scholarship in half. So I transferred to Ohio University, where I already had 2 cousins going to school, went there and walked on the basketball and baseball team. Didn't get cut in college. I had a growth spurt at Virginia Union, went from 5'2" to 6 foot.
That's what I was gonna ask. I was like, were you still 5'2", walking on the basketball team? You must have been balling.
Between my freshman year of college and my sophomore year of college at Virginia Union, I went from 5'2", 165 pounds to 6 foot, 215.
Wow.
So yeah, it had a major growth spurt. Got to college, got to Ohio, walked onto the baseball team, basketball team, left there, ended up being able to play overseas for 2 years, and played on the semi-pro circuit for a few years. And then once I had a child, I had another offer to go play somewhere else, but I would have had to miss the last month of the pregnancy and the first 4 months of my daughter's life.
Oh
So
no.
the decision was, do I leave or do I stay? So I stayed, played on the semi-pro circuit here, and started coaching as well.
Wow. Okay. Well, I guess you guys, you can ball, you know.
A little
That
bit, a
is
little
just a little
bit,
bit.
just
Look,
a little bit.
that's beautiful though. I love even okay, so you guys, I listened to his newest album and we're gonna talk more about his music later, but one of the things that I just think is really cool is how much you value your family. And
Yes.
you talk about your family all the time. And I saw him in concert and his performance, and you had kids up there on stage dancing with you, doing the soul bounce and everything. And so how I'm gonna like go and I'll pivot to the next question. You have a passion for community and for
Yes.
children, it looks like youth ministry and etc. How does that where does that passion come from?
I was actually born in it and raised in it.
Oh wow,
Um,
okay.
my mother, and when we did Soul Bounce, my mother was actually one of the ladies up there dancing.
Oh
And
really? I could not have
yes,
look, she was getting it. I could not tell.
yes, my mother was up there, one of the ladies that was up there dancing with us. But I'm a member of the SCLC, the Southern Christian Leadership Conference, and I've grown up doing community service. Things with elected officials from here to St. Louis, Missouri, to Atlanta, Georgia. We done traveled across the United States, helping people, doing things in communities. We do a feeding every Thanksgiving, a feeding every Christmas. We clothe the community. So I was raised doing it. And for me, it went from being forced to do it, because my mom was there, so I had to be there.
Uh-huh.
And it went from being forced to do it to being able to see the immediate impact. Because oftentimes people say, oh, keep doing the right thing and you'll see a difference. Or in the future, it'll pay off. It's one thing to know it's going to pay off in the future. It's another thing to see the immediate impact. And then you get to connect with the people and hear their testimonies and see what they're going through. And one of the big things for me is, if I'm going through something and I'm talking to people, I'm walking around upset over something that seems so simple. Once you talk to somebody else and realize it could be so much worse. And here I am being foolish, upset about this little thing when they have that going on. So
Yeah.
it's so many different benefits to it, not just for them, but also for you. And the feeling that you get from giving back to people, it's a feeling that can't be purchased and can't be explained for real.
That's so true. That's so true. When I find it, I feel like we were put here to serve each other, you know?
Yes.
And for some reason, it seems like you have to encourage people to do that when once they do it, they realize, oh, this makes me feel good anyway, right?
Yes.
Yes, and I love that. We need more, you guys. We need more people serving, you know, because that feeling, you're right, it cannot be purchased. Your mama, she raised you right.
What I've learned is a lot of people actually want to serve and don't know where to start.
Yes, that too.
Then there's some people where they reach out to people to ask to help, and the people are asking them, what do you bring to the table, versus just letting them step in. Even if it's just something like, okay, you put paper plates out when we do the feeding, you put the cups or tablecloths and covers. Something simple could be beneficial. And people don't like to take the time to explain or teach or bring people along. So a lot of people shy away because how they're treated when they try to start up. So just again, go back to being nice to people.
Yeah. Well, I'm gonna get a little personal. So how do
Okay.
your kids do do they do a lot of serving too when you do different things? Or because I know a lot of times with kids, they always want to act, they want to do stuff, and so parents give them different things to just do. And so I don't know, do you see that being passed down to your kids? Or
Yes, they do a lot of serving as well. Not just with me, with my wife, they do serving.
Mhm.
With my father-in-law is a pastor. He has a church called True Word Ministries. They serve with him. Like my kids enjoy helping people.
Yeah.
So they serve. And then when they're with my mother, they serve as well. They do the feed in the community, the food bank at her church, helping out, organizing things, giving out food. They don't mind helping. They don't mind doing at all.
That's good. I love that because you said you're right. People just have sometimes when they are stunted in their service, then they grow up and they feel like they don't know how to do it. So yes, yes.
Yes.
Okay, so I have a question about your faith journey, actually. I love that. Look, I'm listening to his album, you guys. You'll learn a whole lot about just who he is as a person. But your faith journey, I'm curious about that. Were there any pivotal moments growing up that kind of led you to where you are today?
There were a lot of pivotal moments. And I proudly say that I wasn't always on the straight and narrow path. I was raised and put in this position to be, but being hard-headed, I did my own thing as well. But I was raised on the church drill team in a church choir. Can't sing to save my life, but I was in the choir, you know. But I got to the point where my mom was in charge of the drill team. My mom's a deacon. She taught gymnastics. She taught tap, ballet, hip hop. We did it all, and she did it at the church.
Wow.
It started off in the community center, and then she said, "You know what? We could do this for God." So she took it to the church. Hip hop dancing, everything was at the church. So we were at the church 5 out of 7 days at a minimum. So I told her when I graduated high school and I go to college, I ain't never going to church again. And then when I transferred, she blackmailed me. First, I ended up going to Virginia Union, which is a private school, and they had something called chapel that you had to have a certain amount of chapel credits in order to graduate. So every week we had to attend chapel to get a credit for it. And chapel was like an hour and a half, almost 2 hours long. So then I was forced to go. And as a football player getting caught skipping chapel, he had consequences. Transferred to Ohio. And I said, I'm never going to church again. My mom said, well, look, you're going to be 8 hours away from home. I'm not sending your car out there until you find a church to go to. I had a church in 2 weeks.
Oh, I was about to say, I bet you found a church.
I found a church within 2 weeks. So, but once I actually started going to church for myself and not because I was made to, that's when I really started opening up and realizing all the signs and things that God was preparing me for to begin with. And that's when I was able to really grow and start using my gift for God. And at the time I was still straddling the fence, making secular music and everything. But then life just started hitting. And God kept sparing me and sparing me and sparing me. And it was one of the things where I'm asking for forgiveness. But then it's like, why would I keep forgiving you if you're going to keep doing the same thing over and over again? So, at that point, I hit that real brick wall. And I had to make a decision. And it got to the point where one of the closest people to me ended up dying in front of me at basketball practice. They caught my attention. And my cousin John played on the basketball team with us. My cousin JJ also played on the team, the two that was already at school before I got there. Mm-hmm. When they called us the three amigos because all of us were born 1987. Our birthdays was April, May, June. I was the baby. Everything growing up, we did it together. We in practice. John got a steal, passed it to me. I passed it to JJ. JJ made the layup. John said, good job, fam. Then he collapsed on the court. His heart stopped. Nobody knew he had an enlarged heart. That right there is when I said, you know what, God, you got my undivided attention. No more playing.
Wow. Wow. Whew. I
Yeah.
wasn't expecting a pivot that heavy, man.
Yeah, no,
But
but I know I was hard headed. I can admit that. I was that kid that from the age 5 to 8, I got a spanking every day. I knew the consequences was coming, but I still did my own thing. So I was the person that I knew the consequences were coming. I'm gonna still do it. So it took something drastic like that to get my attention.
wow, wow, wow. Look, huh, God needed you. It's crazy, and it's so in that moment or after that, you said that God had your full divided attention after that moment. And for some people, that's not what happens. For some people, they go the opposite way because that happened. And I think it's, I don't know, I guess it was because of you being raised and you knowing in your heart where the source of your strength comes from the jump, and and
Yes.
how God can anchor you. Oh, I tell you, because I just thank God for the anchor, because sometimes I be wanting to do my own thing too. You know, and it's just like, man, I can't run but this far.
Right. And I had a couple serious situations before that
Uh-huh.
that God, he spared my life and I still was playing. But even after that, God had my undivided attention. But then I made a name for myself in secular music. So I was still back and forth, but I'm not going that far out there no more. But I was still back and forth.
Mm-hmm.
But I had quite a few situations before that where I'm just blessed to be alive. So,
Amen. Well, we are all blessed that you are alive too, because we can so bounce. You feel me? Okay.
hey,
So, okay, let's go into your music. Let's talk about that. So, it sounds like you've been into music for a while. I'm seeing,
yes.
but you're not just into music. You don't just rap. You also do poetry and spoken word. Tell us about how that all even started.
I've been a music junkie my whole life. Like I said, my mom had a hip hop dance team. My sister is a dance choreographer. She has her own business called For Christ I Dance. My foster sister has her own mind ministry named Whirlwind of Fire. Like music and dance has been everything to me. Cleaning the house, music, drop, everything I do is music related. Um, I knew I couldn't sing, and the only reason I rap is because I sound disgusting when I try to sing. You know, so and it's. I feel like music is what emotions sound like.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So not being able to sing, I had to find a way to express myself. And then my pet peeve is if I'm in a conversation and I'm talking and we going back and forth, and I keep getting cut off and I can't get my full thought out, I just shut down. Like, all right, you know what, you got it. And I don't even care anymore to get my point across. But doing music and poetry in a song or in a poem or spoken word piece, you can get your full thought out and bring it all home before somebody can respond to it. So
Wow.
it's been a passion of mine. But growing up in church, it wasn't a rap ministry in churches growing up. You had the choir. Some churches had dance teams. Some churches didn't. So being able to get out there and go to church on my own, and not because I was being made to, be able to find and figure out how to take my passions and use them for God. Whew, it's been a journey, and it's still a journey because there's still a lot of people that don't accept it. And
Yeah, I can't rap, you know what I'm saying? I can sing a little bit, but but like the fact that you were able to, I love how the uniqueness of how God gives you different gifts that maybe everybody doesn't receive, but it's all in your heart posture. So if this is your form of worship and this is how you decide you want to express yourself in your relationship with Christ, then I love that Christ allows us the freedom to do that,
yes,
And
yes.
yeah, right, that freedom. And like I said, man, you're right. Your whole point did come across, especially in the album. Some of them songs, you guys, you need to check it out. I'm telling you, we're gonna tell you. So stay till the end so we can tell you how you can check out his music. Um, So, but before we get there, let me ask you the question that I ask all of my guests. Okay.
Okay.
Suspense. No, I'm kidding. All right. So, do you have any advice for someone who might be at the crossroads, who might be at that point of life where they're like, man, I guess I could say yes to God, but I'm not sure yet, or they're just not sure about what decision they could make before they're all in. Do you have any advice for them?
Of course. I would start off by telling them God doesn't call the perfect, he perfects the called.
Mm.
So don't wait until you feel like the right time. You feel like it's the right time, or you feel like you have to be perfect, or you've gotten over enough things, enough stuff, because that thing that you're battling could be that testimony that saved somebody else's life and help them heal as well. Being able to show you're not perfect, it's okay. Professionals built the Titanic, but amateurs built the Ark.
Mm.
So that professional that built the Titanic, that was supposed to be unsinkable, sunk and killed thousands. But the amateur that God told to build the Ark, he did it and saved humanity. I don't know why he put roaches on the Ark. I'm still questioning that part. Ain't no way God told him to put 2 roaches up there, but we have them nowadays around here. So, but if God called you to do it, be obedient and do it. And don't wait for the right time, because the time is now. You will always find another reason to not do it, or you will always find something new and more updated to make you try to push back the release of whatever God gave you to put out there. Release what you have now. Even the iPhone, you always get an update to the phone that you already have in your hand, because they didn't wait till everything was perfect to put it out there. They debug and fix everything. You have updates at least twice a month, because they put it out there and then they made fixes after people was able to give them feedback and criticism and critique it. So if he called you to do it, just go do it. Be obedient.
Wow. That was good, man. Good advice. That helped me too, because I'm like, you're right. The iPhone was not perfect. I'm a team Android, but I'm just yeah, it wasn't perfect, but maybe that's also because God understands that people change, their taste changes, you know what I mean? And as you grow,
Yes.
your calling may look different for different seasons. So don't miss this season where God is calling you to do this certain thing because you're waiting to be perfect for the next season. Because it's
I
just
mean,
we run.
to add on to that,
Uh-huh.
and just piggybacking on what you just said on that, like you said, don't miss this season. I look at it as like, if your car breaks down, people won't help you if you're just sitting on the side of the road in your car. But if you get out in the car and start pushing, people will pull over and start helping you move as well. So if you never get started, you don't know. You can't run into the people that you need to connect with to help it grow, expand, and get better. So
That is just, I needed that. That was great. Ooh. All right. So we going into this music thing. Walt-Leon. Do people call you Walt? What do they call you? Anything? It's Walt-Leon. That's what they call you.
People that know me, like I grew up with, they call me DJ.
Oh, okay.
Yes. But as far as music and poetry, people that know me from social media, they just call me Walt-Leon. Once they realize that I'm a little crazy, they just start calling me Walt, and I'm okay with it. Some people call me Mr. Leon. It doesn't matter. I, I'm okay with it. But most people, they call me DJ. Most people didn't know my real name was Walter until I came out there as Walt-Leon. And they were like, where did that come from? And I had to start telling what my real name was. Because even in school, in college, the sports programs, it all said DJ Davis.
What? Wow. I love these different aliases. This is interesting. So, might have to look at those stats. DJ Davis. Okay. So, okay. With your music, your social media, you have a clothing brand. He has a lot of different things going on. Touch Life Enterprises. Sir, tell us first. Let's start with the music. Tell us about how we can find your new album, what's going on with all of that, going forward, etc.
The new album, well, all of my music, honestly, for the last two albums, I would say, let me correct myself, the last two albums, but the new album, you can find on any streaming platform, whether it's Apple Music, Tidal, YouTube, Spotify, Amazon, Google Play. Just search Walt-Leon, and the new album will be the first thing to come up because it's the most recent. But the album is entitled Crooked Sticks Draw Straight Lines. And it's just to let you know that even though you're not perfect, your crooked stick or your crooked path could be a straight line for somebody else, because what you've been through can help somebody else not make the same mistakes you made.
Love that. Love it. Okay, so all your music on all streaming platforms, and so tell us about the other things. So, how can they get in contact with you? Social media, etc.
Social media on Instagram, Twitter, TikTok is at Walt_Leon. On Facebook, you can just facebook.com/Walt-Leon Music. YouTube is Walt-Leon Music TV. But on everything, if you just start putting in Walt-Leon, things will start popping up. Mm-hmm. Some stuff might have 2 views, some stuff may have 4,000 views. I post almost everything, so things will start popping up. You can find a lot. There's a lot of videos coming I'm trying to do a video for every song on the album.
Oh, really? Really?
So there'll be a lot of stuff coming on the way. Okay. But if you go on Amazon and search, you can also search Walter Davis, and things will come up that way as well, because I am a published author. So the book is up there under Walter Davis.
So what's the name of your book?
It's called Inspired to Inspire. And what it is 2-minute inspirations for a mind transformation.
When did you write a book?
The book release, was that 2018? The book released in 2018.
What? Oh, so I'm just meeting you so late. I gotta catch up now. And what it sounds like, you guys, is that Walt-Leon is well branded. So Walt-Leon everywhere, you're gonna find him, he's gonna pop up. And I'm gonna have to check out this book too now. Oh my gosh. And is that one of your shirts, or? Yes,
this is one of my shirts, Save Not Soften. The O is the logo, the Touch Life logo. You know, you have to remind people sometimes, because they think because you saved it, they're gonna just walk over you and push over you and treat you any kind of way.
I heard a sermon just about that. Meek don't mean you weak.
If the pastor can lay hands, I can too. That's how I look at it.
Oh my gosh. Ooh, not me.
That's it.
So, Walt-Leon, thank you so much for being a guest. And you guys, I'm going to make sure that you have all of his contact information in the description below.
Thank you so much for having me. I enjoyed myself.